Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to make a future house or future bounce track. It's been a long time since I've made a future bounce track, and recently the Future House Never Died Volume 3 dropped, so I got some inspiration to make a future house banger.
Don't you know I wanna be closer to you? Did you ever notice what you make me do? I've given my all, open my heart, waiting for your move. Could you love me too?
Most probably you have already heard the preview. I've made this small idea.
So could you love me too? So could you love me too? So could you love me too?
It's just a scratch idea. I will definitely change a lot in this drop. So let's start working on the intro. Let's start with a Reese bass.
Sleepless nights, trying to think about what happened. Oh, I can't.
Let's try a different kick for this one. Something more punchy and hard hitting. Let's stick with this one, but now let's focus on the intro. Let's add some ambient sounds from my pack. This granular loop sounds pretty cool. Let's add this one.
Sleepless nights, trying to think about what happened.
Let's add some reverb on the granular loop.
Sleepless nights, trying to think about what happened.
Let's change the bass progression for like variation.
Sleepless nights, trying to think about what happened. Oh, I can't get hold of you. Why do you wrong for how I acted?
I think F-sharp will sound nice.
Sleepless nights, trying to think about what happened. Oh, I can't get hold of you. Why do you wrong for how I acted?
Sounds pretty cool. Let's add some shakers, like for the verse. Let's add some chords. Now let's add some more ambient sounds. I like this one.
Caught up in emotions. They got I'm so caught up. Sleepless nights, trying to think about what happened.
Let's work on the chord progression.
Why do you wrong for how I acted? Open my heart.
And here we can add some build-up loops. This build-up loop is from my very old song Goodbye, which is a future house track, so it will perfectly fit with this track.
Wanna be closer to you. Did you ever notice what you make me do? I've given my all. Open.
Let's add some ambient shots.
Sleepless nights. Sleepless nights.
Now I will find a good melody atmosphere, like for the background.
Sleepless nights, trying to think about what happened.
This one sounds pretty cool. I don't like the chord sound, by the way. Maybe chords backroom. Let's create something like that. I will link the cutoff with envelope. I'll change the wavetable. Now I will add some bunch of compressor. Maybe 3 unison voices. Let's enable another oscillator. Let's enable the noise, FM from noise for oscillator B. Let's find the sweet spot. And I will automate the fine tune. And control the mix. And I will also automate the cutoff filter. Now I will add some arcs like for melody. So I'm going to use the main chord progression as ghost notes. Let's change the last bar for variation.
I'm stuck deep in. Hold on me, like I'm stuck deep in the ocean. Don't you know?
Sounds pretty cool. Let's add a filter for it.
I'm so caught up. Yeah, I am caught up in emotions.
I think some tonal shots will work perfectly in this portion. This one is from Atmos Volume 2. You can check it out if you want.
I'm so caught up. so caught up. Yeah, I am caught up in emotion. I'm so caught up. Yeah, I am caught up in emotions. They got a hold on me. Feels like I'm stuck deep in the ocean. Don't you know?
So let's work on the build up. At this point I can make some melody for it also. Let's find a good sound.
No, I wanna be closer to you. Wanna be closer to you. Did you ever notice what you make me do? I've given my all.
You can go something like
Open my heart, waiting for your move.
It sounds pretty cool, but the sound is not like very pleasant to the ears. So let's find a good lead sound. Maybe I will choose the Bad Reputation style lead. Now, the most important and most frustrating part, finding a good lead melody. Sounds pretty cool. Let's find a good bass sound. Let's add some reverb automation on the lead. I will use round for this one. I will make a like drop A and drop B. It's still future house, like future bounce, but it's more modern, if that makes sense.
So could you love me too?
So let's add some more bass layers. Adding variation in the second part. So let's work on the build up. So it will be a bit easier for me to like work on the drop. If I have a good build up, the drop is going to be sick. I will add some filter automation, volume automation and reverb automation. Let's add a separate sub bass. And I will add a volume automation and high pass for the Reese bass in the build up. I'm going to stick with the first idea for the B section. Let's add a good synth for this part. This sounds pretty cool. Let's add a variation for the second part of the drop. So I will change the bass line too. I will add some drop fills.
Me too, love me too.
So the track is almost done, like it needs some small adjustments, small details. So I will do that off camera and then I will give you the walkthrough of the final project. I am back and ready to drop some fire beats in this final project. So let's dive straight into the drop, because who has time for the intros when the bass is calling? First up, the drums. I slapped out the kick for something punchier. I slapped on a clap that's got those future bounce vibes, you know. And I threw a pre-shifted clap because, well, why not? Now let's talk about the drop synth. These are the main heartbeat of the track. So I've already shown you the bass presets. You watched it, right? Or did you skip? Here's a quick peek to jog your memory. And by the way, I have these basses that play the 7th note and the 4th note, which are automated by assigning the macro to the semitones of these basses. Now, the mid bass processing. I added wave shaper for distortion, then EQ to cut the sub bass frequencies and little bit of the high end, OTT to glue it all together, and at last EQ to shape the sound. Then, the mid bass and sub bass are linked to this channel where I added a clipper to cut the peaks. Moving on to the drop leads. This is the important element of the track. layers. And for the processing, on these two layers, I just added EQ to cut the high end and the lows, and on these two layers I added distortion, OTT and EQ to shape the sound. Then all the layers are linked to the main channel where I added EQ to cut the low end, round for reverb automation, then a fruity filter for automation, again a fruity balance for automation, and a clipper to cut the peaks. The B part, pretty much the same, but I spiced up the second half with some variation to keep things fresh. Now the drop chords, I laid them carefully to make sure they hit perfectly. Layers. For the effects, I added EQ to shape the sound, OTT for compression, then camel crusher for distortion, then again EQ to shape the sound, and a stereo shaper to make it wide. Then I layered some growl shots for the bass, which is adding a lot of texture to the bass. The bass without growls, and with the growls. As you can hear, it adds some crunchiness and cool texture. And one of the important things that I added a lot of ear candies. These are the little sparkles that make the track alive. They fill out the track and add that future house and bounce flavor. It's not perfect and needs a bit more work, but it is pretty cool. Now, the rest of the track, the intro, verse and the build-up are pretty much as they are. Same Reese bass and these amazing atmospheric samples from an amazing sample pack. That's it for the track. It is not the best future house track ever. It needs a lot more work and changes, but it's quite good. Maybe I'll finish it and release it someday. I don't know. By the way, give your feedback on this type of videos. Is it good? Does it need changes or any recommendations? Definitely comment down below so I can improve it. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting the like button and subscribing. It helps the channel. And if you want to grab some cool FLPs and packs like my atmospheric sample pack volume 2, head to anasamirmusic.com. It's the best way to support the channel. And I will meet you next Friday. Have a great weekend, guys. Let's check out the final result.
Sleepless nights, trying to think about what happened. Oh, I can't get hold of you. What do you wrong for how I acted? No, I'm not so caught up. Yeah, I am caught up in emotions. They got a hold on me. Feels like I'm stuck deep in the ocean. Don't you know I wanna be closer to you? Did you ever notice what you make me do? Giving my